So first of all, this video is about to spawn the most heinous homophobic comic section that anyone has ever seen on YouTube. A lot of adult male Ninjago fans will insist on saying Cole isn't gay because they like Cole and they don't like gay people. And those two things intersecting is something that they just cannot comprehend. But I'm an optimist, so I'll give y'all the benefit of the doubt and enable comments for now. So hopefully no one comes in and ruins it for everyone. Second of all, nothing I discuss in this video has anything to do with sex. Obviously, this is on account of the fact that they are Legos. This show has romance, that much is clear, so that's what we'll be talking about today. Romance. So this show aired at a very interesting time. Here's a little timeline I made so you can see where queer media was during certain times of Ninjago's lifespan. Some important things to note is that during Ninjago's earlier season, the controversy of the lesbian moms and Good Luck Charlie happened. This is important because due to the homophobic backlash that happened as a result of this episode, Good Luck Charlie was essentially canceled. So in children's media specifically, gay people on TV was not accepted quite yet. Media for adults, on the other hand, was pretty much fine with gay people in small doses. Will and Grace had aired over a decade before Ninjago aired, but like I said, the children's media landscape is very different than the adult media landscape. In 2014, children were not allowed to know that gay people existed, which makes sense, as gay marriage wasn't even legal across the US until 2015. Ninjago had been on the air for 4 years at that point. That is to say, they probably didn't even consider for one single second that they would ever make a character gay back then. But things change. The next big move in children's media regarding gay people was Adora and Katra becoming an undeniably canon couple in She-Ra in 2020. So that means we are chill with gay people in children's media, right? There was even another important queer event in 2020, which I often describe as the funniest day of my life. That was, of course, when Destiel went semi-canon, but fully canon in the Spanish dub. This is important because it was a ship that absolutely no one thought would actually happen, and then suddenly it's all over your Tumblr timeline. On that day, I thought, well, TV shows are just doing anything now. 2 years later, Ninjago ended, and the next year, Dragons Rising began. Here I am showing y'all how OG Ninjago aired in a completely different time regarding LGBT visibility than Dragons Rising did. We now live in a post-Cachadora Destiel landscape, wherein having a single gay couple would not immediately put your show at risk of cancellation. Although, it is important to note that both of these couples went canon during the literal last few episodes of the show, so even if there was backlash, it would not have had any effect. So maybe things aren't actually as progressive as we think. In the original Ninjago series, there was very little reason to believe Cole was gay. He never is shown to be romantically interested in any male character, and he never felt like an outsider among the other ninja. But you know something crazy? A huge amount of people still thought Cole was gay during Ninjago's original run, including me and a close friend of mine who got super into the show during a hurricane where we were trapped inside due to the roads being closed for like a week. And we watched the whole show, which at that point was like seasons 1 through 13. And we would discuss it over the awful Lego Ninjago, the movie, the game, that was so buggy and impossible to operate. And oh my gosh, I have such vivid memories of laughing myself to tears over the game. Her and I are still friends, B2Dubs. We play Marvel Rivals together now. An actually good game. Anyway, there's 2 reasons people thought Cole was gay back then. 1, the Royal Blacksmiths. The Royal Blacksmiths was an episode all the way back in season 1 where the plot was basically just Cole having to come out to his dad as a ninja. But the rhetoric was actually crazy. Like, listen to this.
My dad can't find out I'm a ninja. Dad, I didn't mean for you to hear that, but I'm glad you did. There's something I've been wanting to tell you. Dad, I'm a ninja.
Huh? And I'm not going to wait around to watch you make a mockery of our family's legacy.
Dad,
It's funny, you see, because Cole's dad thinks he's a dancer, which is a traditionally feminine activity, but Cole is actually a cool mask ninja. So it's a fun subversion of how this usually happens in real life. But I mean, the metaphor is as clear as day. Being a ninja in this episode, and in this episode only, is a metaphor for queerness, while being a dancer, which is what his father wants and expects of him, is a metaphor for being straight, or just otherwise complying with the heteronormative standards of society. And the message at the end of this episode is really nice. Cole's dad supports him and his ninja-ness, and it's actually Cole embracing all parts of himself, both his upbringing as a dancer, which he had hid from his team in embarrassment, as well as his identity as a ninja to save the day. And he goes, rawr. The second reason is that he was shown to not be that interested in women, even when every other ninja gets a girlfriend at some point. I'm going to say right off the bat that he was not really interested in Nia. Even the straight cold truthers can agree on this because everybody hated that plot line. It was so bad. It felt so unnatural. Basically what happened is that Nia randomly was like, Cole's my soulmate, actually, and started hitting on him out of nowhere, while dating Jay, by the way. So when Jay saw, he blames Cole, and Cole defends himself, and that spirals, and then Nia's like, guys, stop fighting over me, as if this whole thing didn't start because she was trying to cheat on her boyfriend. Bitches be tripping. No, scratch that. Bitches written by men be tripping. And then in season 12, he meets Princess Vanya, who he is decidedly not interested in. Even when Lloyd confronts him, basically saying, you can't trust these hoes because he's just come off a bad breakup, Cole's like, why would you think I'm into her? Just because she's a girl? Please, I'm normal.
Besides, I don't even like Vanya like that.
I think one of the reasons why they did this is because every other season in Ninjago included a love at first sight plotline, and the writers wanted to tell us that they were finally going to stop doing that. But now it just makes it seem like Cole is the only male ninja who doesn't like women. And then he doesn't end up with her, period. They don't even entertain the idea. And the people that think they're together just because they like talk to each other, if that's the case, then Cole is dating every single ninja in the whole show. And all that was just the first Ninjago show. People have even more reason to think he's gay in the sequel series, and the reason is he's implied to be dating this goblin man. There's nothing explicit. There's still plausible deniability, which is why this is even a discussion in the first place. And of course, there are people who refuse to believe Cole is anything but heterosexual and will deny until they're blue in the face. Those people's minds will never change. But, I mean, Cole and this dude are always holding hands and smiling softly at each other, and there's a whole episode plot about how the goblin is doing this and that because he's so worried that Cole will leave him to be with the ninja, and the conflict is resolved by Cole basically saying, why would you think I would leave you? I would never leave you. The writer of this ep, a gay man, even posted this on Instagram. And look, there's a heart around them holding hands. Adorable. There's another plot about this skeleton child that they've raised together, and it's very wholesome, very precious, but I guess you could technically still say this is just guys being bros. I think the Ninjago writers have purposefully done all they can so that people who like the idea of gay Cole have enough reason to believe that their interpretation is canon, but people who don't like the idea can still watch the show in denial and pretend like they see nothing. Funny story, actually. That same close friend I mentioned earlier and I would discuss if they would ever make Cole gay, like canonically, when we talked about this show all those years ago. Our consensus was that they would never go the route of showing an actual gay romance develop between Cole and another character, but they might have a time skip situation where we don't see Cole for a long time, and then the next time we see him, he has inexplicably built a life with another man, and we never get solid confirmation that they're dating, but it's pretty strongly implied. Of course, we didn't predict that the time skip would be in between shows. We thought it would be like a in between season situation. We really did talk about that. You don't have to believe me, but it did happen. We called it time skip husband. We were legit like, I could see Cole getting a time skip husband, but he would never like date Kai or nothing. However, there is still time for the writers to make Cole XGO explicitly, inarguably canon. All signs point to the fact that Ninjago will continue to release content until the sun explodes, so why not? Actually, never mind. It's too late. It's been 15 years. At this point, it would just feel cheap and pandery. Actually, I changed my mind again. It would be so funny if Kai and Cole randomly started dating. Please do it. All right, fine. I'll be real. If we're being honest, romance is not Ninjago's bread and butter. Romance tropes other than love at first sight seem incomprehensible to Ninjago writers. Their strengths lie in plots where the villain must collect 2 to 4 artifacts and bring them together to release an ancient evil that our heroes must defeat. They're so good at that. So if you're wondering why romance is even important in non-romance stories, I'm working on a video about that as well, so stay tuned. But this video is long enough as is, so I'll turn the discussion over to y'all. Are you a gay Cole truther, a straight Cole truther, or a secret third thing? Do you like Cole and Gio as a couple, or do you think Cole deserves better? Leave your thoughts in the comments, but be nice. I'll be watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.